Hi, welcome to the Mind, Body, and Emotion Show. Produced by Tammy, HCSS, an advocate of mind, body, and fitness. Your mind is your universe. Your mind is your universe. Your emotions are the trigger. Learn about the power of emotions, money, current events, and how to fight negative energies. Change your paradigm now. Ready to go? Let's get started. You're now listening to your host, Joey Niles.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mind, Body, and Emotion Show. My name is Joe Ponte, a.k.a. Joey Niles, broadcasting to you straight from the Garden State of New Jersey. As always, I'm going to have an announcement. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do disclosure. So let's get started. Our episode will be pre-recorded on video and distributed through all the three major platforms: Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Obviously, if they cut me short, then that's the deal. We're going to be looking into actually putting it on other different platforms as we move along. But unfortunately, for now, we're going to do it pre-recorded, and hopefully, we can also do live soon. But until I get used to this, because I don't. This is the first time to me, so I hope you will forgive me if everything is not perfect, right? Okay, so let's just go right straight to disclosure, okay? To those of you who are listening to this podcast for the very first time, and for other reasons than to actually achieve a desired awakening and or be aware of your surroundings and do good for yourself and better yourself and notice those things that are seen and unseen. And you just, you come into for other reasons. Please be advised that I love my country. I don't adhere to violence. I despise violence. I think it's a waste of time. Okay. And I believe in the purging of the force of the main atom. So, with that said, today's episode is called A Nation in Need of Healing. Okay? I have said that this podcast show is about achieving a true awakening, and that would involve your mind, body, and emotions to achieve it. So, you use your mind, body, and emotions all the time. Absolutely, you use it all the time. So it's nothing new. The concept's not really new, I guess. But we go a little further than just normal. But it's nothing new, right? I will reiterate the formula that I have been stating all along, and that is thought, belief. That's one. Okay, emotion plus kinetic or vocal energy or both. I also stated that you must acknowledge atomic self, your conscious and your subconscious. Acknowledging verbally that you acknowledge all things that are energy and that we are grateful for and that what we are. You must acknowledge that there is a master creator, which is the main atom, which is God. This is the bare minimum you need to do to start your journey towards a true awakening. And there's no way around it, whether you acknowledge it or not, our nation is at war within and abroad. The fire is burning in low flames, but it will eventually be burned out of control. Okay? I mean, if you look around you, there's violence everywhere. People have lost their conservative minds. There's so much hate going on, right? Ukraine, war, threats, nuclear threats, People talking of, the new reset, stuff like that. It's just okay around out here, man. But always keep a positive outlook. You gotta find it. Okay, you gotta find it. All right, so it's not easy to find, but you gotta keep going. Okay, we as humans have lost our ways and have become extremely carnal. Even cognizant of the fact that we have changed and have disconnected ourselves from the main or master creator. We have placed our minds in a state of inertia, not being able to react appropriately and clearly to situations that are presented before us. You know, I believe that the American people is going through PTSD, and I'm not kidding. We went through some trauma, okay, and we just haven't figured out how to deal with it, right? Everything is foggy and nothing's ever clear. You trying to figure this one out, that one out. It gets very confusing, and sometimes you just forget about it, right? Everything is foggy, so we are constantly in a state of stress and disappointment. We are constantly in a state of stress. Again, we don't realize we are in that state of mind, and that's part of the challenge. We are a nation in need of help. When you have siblings against each other, children against the parents, family members despising each other, friends only in digital form. Hey, how many friends do you have? Well, I got 1,000. When the other one's got 1,500, I got to catch up. That's not friends. Okay. So let's just get over that. That's not friends. So forget about it. All right. That's not considered friends. Okay. So this nation is in need of healing, right? So this healing starts in the heart, okay? And by reacquainting ourselves with true love. And that is God. And I know some people really got a bad taste in their mouth of bad experiences, and God, oh, really, trust me, God is love. Okay, it is time to go back to basics. To start gathering our minds back together. Okay, but before we move on, I just want to clarify something, right? So yes, when I hear the words awakening, I get wary, and red flags immediately become at the ready. Why? If I have offended some of our past listeners, I am sorry that they took what I said harshly. It wasn't meant to offend them, but only to make them aware that there is no true balance in their attempts. My challenge here is this, okay? Because I'm saying this because I noticed we had some drop-offs from our last episode, and I'm pretty sure that it was because a couple of them or whatever got offended when I used these certain words, like fairy tales and teddy bears. Unfortunate words, okay? Hey, look, I'm human, just like everybody else, okay? I have my awakening as well. And sometimes, when you're dealing with thoughts and emotions, sometimes you get a little off the rails, right? Because you're passionate, right? But you have to understand, you have to crawl before you walk, right? So for those individuals that are online on YouTube, and they are trying to teach or bring in people to achieve this awakening, and to go ahead and exploring out of body experiences and reach the fourth, fifth, sixth dimension and other beings you have discussions with. It's beautiful. It's all this stuff. Look, I'm not gonna knock it, okay? There are dimensions. There are other dimensions. There are other sentient beings, but they're much more advanced than we are. Okay, we are in the third dimension. Okay, I think we have to master the third dimension before we go into the fourth, fifth, sixth. I'm not knocking them, and the words I use are very unfortunate. Yeah, I make mistakes. I'm big enough to admit it, and so I made mistakes, and I do it. However, you can't teach someone or a group of people or whoever is following you and take them into the lion's den. Okay? Listen. In order to do all this, I don't recommend it because you know what? These other dimensions, they're dangerous. Okay? These sentient beings, they have more, abilities than we do. Okay? They can manipulate you. They can make you feel certain ways. They can read your mind. There's many things they can do that we cannot do. Okay? So when you start traveling like that and you start, experimenting more and more, going out there, if you're not prepared for that, you can lose your spirit soul. Okay? Nothing is ever good without the master Adam. Okay, you leave him out of the equation, guarantee you will be in trouble. Okay, and the most valuable thing we have is our spirit soul. You have to understand that. And so before you guys, astral planing, whatever, right? I'm going to say it doesn't work. I'm going to say it's not real. It's their opinion. It's awesome. I'm just saying you've got to learn how to crawl before you begin to walk. And part of that is, again, and I said it again and I'll say it over and over again, is part of your awakening, a true awakening. And what I mean by true, I mean a full awakening, which has to do with awareness, You have to understand awareness. To be aware, you can't just be aware of good things. To be aware, you have to be aware of good and bad. That's just as simple as that. Good and bad. You have both things. You can't exclude one and only keep the other because it feels better. You have to get the whole bull of wax. You can't have that awakening without the master creator. And this is what I'm trying to say. And when you lead people in that direction and you cause them harm because they wind up getting more than what they chewed for, that's trouble. I would be very careful in telling people to go in a certain direction when they're not prepared for it. And that's the truth. There will come a time when negative energy will be eradicated by the main atom. But until then, we must approach awakening with a true understanding of both positive and negative energy. The spirit of our nation and what it stands for has lost its way, and we are a nation in need of healing. There are so many things we can go over, but it's impossible to cover anything in one episode. So please do continue to check in and listen. And that's pretty much it for today. Thank you for listening and watching if you're watching through video. And I do apologize for the noise in the background. I'm trying to get better. But this is the situation I'm in. So, God bless you. Remember to love on somebody. Stop the hate. And I'm going to see you the next time on the next episode. So long, guys.